Hello and welcome to Quick and Creepy, where the killers come to you.
In England, during the final days of World War II and the following years, a blood-drinking serial killer lurked in the UK city of South Kensington who would be remembered as the Acid Bath Killer. John George Haigh. He was born in 1909 into a family that followed the teachings of the Plymouth Brethren and considered amusement in all its forms to be a sin. During his youth, Haigh attended Wakefield Grammar School due to a chorus scholarship. At a young age, Haigh reported bizarre dreams, such as forests of bleeding trees which some believed were a sign of hamartomania, or an obsession with blood which would manifest through violence later in his life. After leaving school, Haigh was briefly married until he was arrested for fraud and abandoned his wife. During World War II, he was arrested many more times for scams and for stealing. After leaving prison in 1943, Haigh seemed to clean up his act and moved into a South Kensington hotel. During this time he also rented a basement where he claimed to work as an inventor. The lab was full of tools and equipment, including one item which would become infamous: a 40-gallon tub of sulfuric acid. The first to die at the hands of John George Haigh was Donald McSwan, a longtime casual friend who owned a nearby arcade. He was murdered in September of 1944. After luring Donald to the basement, Haigh bludgeoned him to death using a hammer before slicing his neck open in order to drink his blood. Donald's body was dissolved in the sulfuric acid, then poured down a sewer. After the murder, Haigh took control of the pinball hall. He also wrote fake letters to McSwan's family in an effort to convince them he was alive and hiding in Scotland. Compulsive gambling sucked away all of Haigh's stolen money and soon he was in search of another victim. The next to die were the parents of Donald McSwan. They were killed in July of 1944. Haigh repeated the method used on their son, luring the parents to his basement before smashing their heads in and melting their remains in his acid bath. Haigh then also took over the McSwan's considerable estate, amassing property and wealth. Soon, however, due to his gambling and lavish spending, Haigh had lost all 5 houses and nearly every stolen penny. Again, John George Haigh was on the prowl for a victim with money. He would choose the couple Archie and Rosalie Henderson as his next targets and lured them to a new workshop he had rented in the city of Crawley. Instead of a hammer, Haigh would shoot the Hendersons, but as before he did drink their blood. He was able to take £12,000 from the couple as well by forging papers. The last to die at the hands of John George Haigh would be 69-year-old Olivia Durham Deacon. She had an idea for artificial fingernails and knew Haigh claimed to be an inventor. In February of 1949, she was shot to death in the Crawley workshop. This time Haigh was said to have savored this victim's blood out of a wine glass. Miss Durham Deacon's body was also dissolved in the acid bath before the resulting sludge was poured down sewers. This murder gained Haigh barely £250. Police investigating the disappearances questioned John George Haigh, and found his attitude and answers suspicious and search warrants were issued for his workshop, where the horrors were committed. When police found the acid bath, there was nearly 30 pounds of human fat, false teeth, and Miss Durham Deacon's purse inside. When confronted with these findings, Haigh confessed to the murders. He focused on the blood drinking in an effort to claim insanity. Likely also to reinforce this defense, Haigh was seen consuming his own bodily fluids while in custody. Despite his efforts, Haigh was found guilty of the murders and sentenced to die. John George Haigh, the acid bath killer, was hanged in Wandsworth Prison in August of 1949.